David Harder, you are the leader of the Inspired Social Networking Program. Actually, I know you for, I think, about 10 years now. In fact, we met through LinkedIn, and I was remembering that before we got on here today. And, it was so seamless. You just kind of, said hello and, hey, there's might be some mutual things. Why don't we have a chat? Next thing I know, we're chatting. Next thing I know, I got to go through one of your other programs. We're friends. We're hanging out. I'm in New York. You're in LA. And then I don't even barely remember that part of it because it was so seamless. So I'm so glad that you get to share and tell people about what you're doing because it's all evolved now. So thank you for sharing today.
Also, I was just on the phone with Linda Mack in Chicago, who just told me, I've been your client for 10 years. And you might recall that I sent Linda to your program in New York. Perhaps I didn't share this with you, but Linda is now viewed as the most highly visible business owner in the wealth community. She speaks at conferences virtually every month around the world.
There's some amazing people we'd love to connect with. Okay, so Inspired Social Networking. So this is focused on people who want to make business connections, right? People who come to the program. So how do we do it better? I get LinkedIn emails, and it's not just LinkedIn, but that's where there's a lot of opportunity for visibility and making something happen. But I get these emails where they say, hi, Jess, we never met before. When it comes to supply chain management, which is not anything that I have anything to do with, and then it's about 82 paragraphs. And I say, who is this person? What is going on? So is that the wrong way to do it?
No, it is absolutely the wrong way to do it.
Right. So tell us about the problem of not really paying attention and realizing that there are amazing business opportunities through social media.
Well, most people have lowered expectations about social media. And that problem comes out of the fact that LinkedIn and many other digital platforms don't train people in how to get the best out of each service. So for a long time, I viewed LinkedIn as this kind of irritant that showed up in my life. I'd gotten most of my business through face-to-face selling. And then we had an executive in our business who spent all day involved in social networking, and we got very little business out of that. So when we were
probably wondered, what is this person doing all day chatting? Look at what lunch I ate. You're probably wondering and saying, can you get back to work? Right. So
absolutely. But when we were digging our way out of the recession, I was looking at the potential of social networking, and I found that potential wasn't reached because of several basic problems. People tend to make pitches on social networking, and users who have no interest in supply chain management immediately back off. Maybe they even get rid of their new connection with you, but they certainly back off and it accomplishes nothing. People don't like to be pitched. And in the social media space, we have the option of backing off instantly. We don't want to be irritated by it.
Yeah, even if it's something I need. If somebody says, hey, I can get you amazing SEO for your website, I don't know who this person is. We never, right, the social part is missing.
Exactly.
Somebody just showed up and said, you want this thing? It's like, whoa.
And then there's another aspect to this problem that I'd call it, is the rest of it is so impersonal. We get these connection requests from people. We don't know the individual. There's nothing said. We accept the connection and then we never hear from them again.
Right, and you wonder what's the point of that? So, in talking about visibility, a big word that I've heard you use when you talk about all this, we need to be visible. I'm visible. I connected with 1,000 more people, and I never talked to them. It's kind of like throwing a business card at their nose, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And the visibility issue is this.
Right.
Most of us need to draw healthy and effective attention to ourselves, but the underlying fear with that is that we're going to get hurt, that someone's going to say something awful to us, that there's going to be some kind of just real discomfort that comes along with the need to draw attention to ourselves. Inspired social networking is used by highly successful digital marketing executives and owners, but it's also ideal for shy people because
Right.
we do have the privacy of our office or home as we make these connections, and we shift the entire intention of social media from selling something to building relationships.
Right.
That's really the purpose of social media. And when we give people the tools to build relationships, it pulls them entirely out of that irritating process of saying, I need a job, would you hire me? I've got this product and service, what do you think? To being really focused on creating friends and connections and contacts, and out of that space, people do business with us, and there's barely a splash in the water in terms of they're remembering even how they got to know you.
Right. Yeah, I really don't remember very much about that because it was so seamless, and it's relationship building. And I don't know who's watching this video right now, but if it's people who don't know David, he's been running the Inspired Work program for what,
27 years.
27 years. And, you know, it's not, you know, we've heard about employee engagement programs. We know that people are disengaged. You'll have to watch some other video about that, but it's on such a higher level where people really can be inspired at work and about work. And then I guess you've been doing this for years, meaning the social networking piece. Obviously, social networking hasn't been around for 27 years. But at a certain point, people started asking you what it is that you're doing. I know I have over the years. I said, tell me a little bit more. This is before you had this program. I said, well, what are some of these steps? Because you said, oh, I met this wonderful person. And then we got we met up, or we did this other thing. And you've opened. What are some of the amazing companies that you work with? You've opened these relationships that have led to, you know, amazing work relationships.
Oh, we have wonderful client relationships. USC, University of Southern California, you met Mary Campbell at that breakfast at the Four Seasons.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and my internal partner at USC is now a business partner. We got to USC, my old alumni, through this process.
Right.
I got you through this process. So we also work with companies like the Walt Disney Company, HBO, Loyola Marymount University, Rio Tinto Minerals, Lucky Brand Jeans. So we work with a lot of different organizations.
So while your program that's been around for years in the Inspired Work program, well, that's usually an in-person program. You either go to the company or people from different companies come and join on a couple of days, a weekend. This one makes sense. People can tune in virtually, right?
Yes.
And so it's over. You do shorter bits. Explain how it's how many weeks it is and kind of what it looks like.
Inspired Social Networking is 4 sessions, 2-hour sessions conducted once a week.
Right.
And in the first session, we take everyone's LinkedIn profile.
People are, I hear they're signing up on your computer right this second.
But what happens in the experience is that we evaluate every participant's LinkedIn profile, and they get this evaluation before the first session. And every session that we have has results attached to it. So we find that producing results each week gives people the confidence of how this process works, and also the understanding of how it works. So the first week is all about the profile and generating an online brand for each individual, for them to understand what an online brand is.
Right. It could be the brand of themselves. Maybe they're representing, it could be their own business, or they work at a company. And so these are people who want more prospects or clients, and maybe introductions for future employment, right?
Yes, and in a long-term point of view,
Yeah.
we find that many people only network when they're in trouble, which is a big strategic career problem.
Now, yeah, I mean, this is not my, I mean, I think I do a good job on social media, but I'm always learning from things I see you do. But I have a friend who had either been laid off or whatever it was, he left the job, and he was frantically calling everybody. And I tried to politely, I know it was a sensitive time, but I politely said, the way you network is not you just go to some place and throw cards at people you never saw, is that I'm part of your network, and you got to keep these relationships going in between. And when something happens also, we're all supporting each other, and that's how it works. And actually, I've seen him do it since, where we've kept in touch. We've actually sent business back and forth. And when he's gone from job to job, it's been far more seamless, and he's closed that loop. So, one thing you teach. So, okay, so maybe we only have a couple of minutes left because we wanted to keep this tight. Okay. So 4 weeks, 2 hours each, that's 8 hours. You probably could have done it in a whole day, in which case everybody's head would have been exploding by the end of hour 2 and saying, I want to act on some of this stuff so I can make it happen, and then come back and say, I did that, now what? So you layer it out so that we have little action plans and something can happen. What do you think, what do you want people to know? I mean, yes, we should be more visible. We should have better connections. It's not just typing a note to somebody, it's actually having relationships. What do you think people really need to know about what's waiting for them on social media and LinkedIn?
So we find that every single mission, vision, and purpose that a person can adopt has an attendant support system to make that successful. So everybody ought to be building support systems that fuel their mission, vision, and purpose. Many people don't attempt to define their mission in life because they assume on some level they're not going to get the help to make it happen. We're all about, once you are clear in what you want to accomplish, build the community to fit. So for example, if someone's wanting to become a successful author, I'm speaking from personal experience here, in today's publishing field, you don't get a contract, you don't get a good deal unless you have a marketing platform to support it. So here at Inspired Work, we built that platform to become more successful in publishing, and now I have 6.2 million online readers. Some of them come in and they want to become more successful in their job or their profession, and they use our process to build the community that will fuel that. So it's often more than just a job. It's we want to have a highly successful career, and the people with the strongest networks usually don't have to look for a job. They have people bringing those opportunities to them.
Because they have this network of people that already know, like, and trust them. And we have it, and we have a lot of that. We can add to it in the right way. I want to end with something that you always, that you've said over the years. I learned this from you, David. Sometimes you just we have a conversation. You say, what can I do to support you this year? Or now, what can I do to support you? And what an amazing sentence that you say. I've said it to other people and they've been blown away. What do you mean? You just want to know how you can be helpful? Amazing. So, that's just one little nugget of, I like to think being a human being, but sometimes we need a little help.
Come on. It's like we have to tell the world what we want. If we don't tell people around us, then we're completely shooting ourselves in the foot in terms of getting that kind of support. So I'm really sincere when I ask people, what do you want to accomplish this year? that gives me the insights of how to help that person if the opportunity to do so arises.
It's amazing. So how do people sign up for the Inspired Social Networking program?
You go to our website, inspiredworkservices.com, go to the events page, and all of our programs are listed there. You can sign up online.
Now, David, in honor of our conversation, I don't usually have props, but I did take my coffee mug like a boss. So you social network, I'm tipping my my cup to you. I'll tip it into the computer. I'm raising my cup to you. Social networking like a boss. It's awesome. David, thank you for taking time out and sharing with everybody today.
Thank you.